Now we're going to practice metta meditation. Also known as loving kindness meditation. Metta meditation is actually one of the spiritual staples of Buddhism. And whether you use it spiritually or not, metta meditation will bring peace to situations that you are presently in. It will also allow you to look at the world in a much more positive light. April the 13th, 2019. Saturday, sábado. Wanted to give you guys a little bit of mental physics. This is Metta. By Mental Physics, you can find them on YouTube. Mental Physics, Phsix, is how you spell it. Or else you won't find it. Thank you, DJ Nick. Oh, so we are going to get right to it today. Welcome to everybody that is here live and everybody that's checking out the recordings and the archives. Welcome, welcome. I wasn't sure what the next session was going to be about the last time that we had our session about patience and detachment. So I knew that I was going to have a session. Go over to Southern California, visit the ocean, Oshun Jemaya, and, you know, did a ritual like we do we try to get it done every year. And so the ritual was taking Orgone energy batteries and offering them to the ocean to bring balance to the planet. So I knew, and every time that we go and do that, when we come back, there's always something really, you know, it's like the energy shifts. And on our, you know, the trip over there was super magnificent and magical, as it is always. And when we got back, you know, I felt the shift. You know, I felt this change that is not that it's happening because I've been talking about that it's been happening forever, but it is accelerating. It is amplifying. You know, it is manifesting quickly. And so I got a message to talk about 5G. And, you know, as usual, when I get messages that tell me to talk about something that I really don't know about, I'm like, what the heck? 5G? 5G is like 4G, you know, it makes your phone faster than, you know. And so you get into that program of what, you know, we look for in this technology, the excitement of technology. And 5G is just, oh, that's the greatest thing, right? Everything is faster. You know, we get to catch up with people over there in China, and, you know, our technology is like their technology. And so, you know, we're excited. You know, a lot of people are excited about 5G. but nobody's really talking about the effects of 5G. And so that's why it was put on my mind and my heart to talk about it. Because when they said 5G, I was like, all right. And I actually made an announcement that I was going to talk about 5G before I even really started doing the research. When I started doing the research, one of the things that I researched, I did post it on the website, and I hope that you guys got a chance to take a look at it. I know that some of you were not able to really, it's really a lot of tech talk, and so, in essence, what it is, it's breaking down scientifically all of the damage that is being done to ourselves, our bodies, our minds, with 5G technology, and they break it down really specifically. So I'm not really going to spend a whole lot of time on the breakdown, but we're really going to focus today on the solutions for it and on exactly what it is. But okay, so going back to the story right quick. So I'm doing the research, and the thing that stood out the most, and I made a lot of different notes about it, but the thing that stood out the most to me about this 5G technology, and we're already, 4G is what you have on your phones now. Most people have that on their phones. And by the way, can you please, if you're just coming in, mute your call so that we don't get any sounds. And I don't know what the mute number is for this call, but I know everybody has mute on their phones. So if you could do that, that would be great. Thank you so much. So the 4G technology that existing right now is hovering above our skin. Right, so we're receiving it, and it's still penetrating us, but it's not as direct. And so what stood out completely about 5G technology is that this 5G technology is piercing our skin. We're absorbing it immediately, and it's being pumped into us 24/7. It comes in waves. So if you're riding down an urban area, your waves are going to be really high. If you're in the mountains or somewhere where there are no power towers, then you're not really going to be experiencing a lot of that pulsation that is happening all the time. So this technology is really important to know that it's nothing for us to fear. The fear is part of it because, like when you really think about what it's doing, it's jacking up your brain cells. It's jacking up your stem cells. It is, if people do not take heed to helping themselves through this time, your lifespan is going to be cut in half. Your children that are being immediately put on this technology, their lifespans are not going to be even close to the one that we have now if they're not getting any kind of protection from this technology that is not going anywhere. It is not going anywhere, and it's not about any kind of protest. It's not about any kind of, oh, well, I'm going to not turn on my internet anymore. I mean, that's part of the solution, you know what I mean? But that's not the solution, because we're in an era. I put up another video, and I know that I'm kind of like going everywhere. I'm trying to tell you guys everything. But I put up another video that is called the Universal Disclosure, and I just added it on the website today, but I had sent you guys a link in your emails, and I don't know if you got a chance to check that out. But the reason why I put that on there is because everything is really synchronistic. And so here I am, I wasn't really I didn't know 2 weeks ago that I was going to be talking about this and that I was going to be going into this in this capacity. And I'm not, my energy about it is really more about the excitement that I have for what is happening and how this is confirmation for what is happening and for what is to come for us, for all of us on the planet, but it comes with its, with this downside. And the downside is that if you're not prepared, if your body is not prepared for this technology, you will cease to exist on this plane. And that's not about fear. That's just transformation and evolution, and that's what it is. If you don't prepare yourself to go into another frequency, you're not going to be able to exist in the frequency that is being produced now on the planet. That's science. That's just the way it is. That's not any belief system. It is just the way that it is. And so the video that I posted about universal disclosure gives a little more clarity so that we could piece all of this together and have the knowledge so that we can move forward in it. Because I talked about this before. Everything has already been said. The knowledge is all out there. It is all out there. Everything you need to know, everything you want to know, everything you think you want to know, it's all out there. Now it's up to you how you're practicing. What are you doing? How are you applying the knowledge that you have in your life every single day, not just once a week, not just a couple of hours. And so this 5G technology is something that it doesn't matter whether you're on the phone or not. It don't matter whether you don't use Bluetooth or not. Now, if you use Bluetooth, by the way, you are really jacking up your brain. You're really jacking up your system, because what's happening with this Bluetooth technology, which is 5G, it is like you're walking inside of a microwave. So you're walking, imagine yourself being inside of a microwave. Well, that's exactly what's happening with this 5G technology. And so it is important to know what tools are available and what is available to guard you from some of this damage that is inevitable. This is a changing of the ages. This is a very, very exciting time. And so you have to, in order for you to benefit from the shift and to truly experience what is on the other side, you know what I mean? You have to be healthy. You have to be able to make it physically. And it is very, very important. We are now in a time where anything that you want to know about yourself, about your, whatever it is that you are experiencing, your sickness, you will get the healing through yourself. But you have to prepare yourself. You have to be in the proper alignment to receive the information. And so what's happening with 5G is that the people that are putting out this technology, and they already know about orgone energy. They already know how to protect themselves. These visions that I've had of these orgone energy centers with orgone tools all inside, that already exists. It already exists. But hello, the people, the urban people, we don't have access to those things. And not just the urban people, pretty much most of the planet don't. Because what they're wanting to do is the powers that be, the energies that have been controlling the planet forever, they are aware of everything that's going on. They are aware of all of the calendars and all of the timing and this new epoca, this epoch that is happening, the 24,000 year shift that is happening, that we are in right now. This new world that is in manifestation as we speak. And so they want to get rid of as many people as possible, because people, if they cannot control them, they don't need them. And so that is what they want to continue to create. And that's going to happen. I've talked about that before, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. You already know what hell is, and hell exists, and you can live there if you want to, or you can create something else. And you can live there if you want to. This earth is made for us to live in balance. So you are going to experience some of each. But how do you balance it out in your life? How do you flow in it? That's what all of this is about. And so what is happening with this 5G is that it's going to take out people, let's see, whatever you can think of that's taking out people with a quickness, like what, cancer, different diseases, all of that is going to amplify it and speed it up. And see, what is really mostly affecting is your brain, your thinking, your mind. Your emotional system, your chakra system is constantly being targeted with these waves that are coming in. And so when your chakra system is out of balance, oh my God, that's death right there. So this emotional imbalance that is happening in people, that is causing depression, that is causing anger, that is causing this extremes of these emotions, this is something that is done on purpose. These are waves that are sent to specific groups of people so that they can react a certain way, so that they can do certain things. Mind control is real, and it has happened all around the world since you can ever remember. So know that just now it's about you being able to detach from all of that and control your own mind. That is all that it's about. Because once you have control of your own mind, you have control of everything. And you're able to detach from the false illusion, from all of these things that have been put in front of us, that are being perpetuated day after day, constantly, in our dream state, everywhere, all the time. And so this is the way that they're getting to the systems of the people. Self-destruction. So this is something that is not going to discontinue to happen. This is something that only you have the remedy for, because you have to choose to heal yourself from it. And this kind of healing is not a healing that you get from any kind of doctor. This is a healing that you have to do yourself. Because once you get to the crux of it and you recognize what it is and you know what you got to do, then it's just a matter of you doing it. And in order for you to do it, you have to be in the position to do it. You have to be able to do the things that are necessary to do so that you can get this healing. And that means meditation. That means your exercise. That means putting your mind into what you're consuming. The computer, the internet, the images, the words, all of these things, the music, all of this that you're consuming that's going into your body. It is up to you to fix it. Because it's all damaged. It really, truly is. And you're experiencing it in your own life through how it's playing out in your own life. And all of it has to do with the toxicity that is being put on this planet over and over again so that they can gain control of what's happening in this new era. But see, they're not. The time of the you know how people have been, I'm pretty sure ever since y'all existed, I know ever since I've existed, it's been, good times like a motherfucker up in this planet, where people, specifically the melanated people, have been suffering greatly over and over and over again. And it hasn't always been that way. It's just time, that period for that reign is now over. And now we get to experience it and see it and have proof of it and have confirmation of what is happening. And now we get to exist in this, what are they calling it? The golden age, Aquarian age, new age, whatever labels they have for it. Forget about the labels and recognize that it's a frequency change that is happening that human beings are going to be able to have access to. You're going to be able to have access to absolutely anything that you want and desire, but you have to vibrate it in order to access it and keep it. And in order to keep anything, what do? You have to keep the vibration of it. So all of this negativity, all of these hoods, all of this low vibrating energy has existed because what has been created is a pattern of this low vibrating energy that people believe in, that people trust, that people are consumed in, and they continue to believe and consume it and let it happen. And so that creates the hell that will always exist. But see, with this knowledge and this information, now it's just really completely up to the individual. Because the world that you're living in is the world that you're creating through what you're vibrating. So see, if they mess up what you're vibrating through this technology, and let me tell you that it's not all bad about, this technology, this 5G is trying to kill us. No, the 5G is the technology that is required for us to get into this whole other frequency that is about to happen, that is happening now. And we have to, the universe always provides protection and preparation for everything. Now, it's just up to you whether you're going to pay attention and listen and do what you got to do, or if you're just going to, just let it happen. And it's okay, because you'll probably, go off and transition and come back again in another way. You know what I mean? So it's never ending. We are eternal beings. And once you get to that knowledge, to that truth, it makes it a lot easier to digest all of this that's happening right now. Because it's like a whole recycle. So yes, the last shall be first. The reign of the melanated people, it was like a $400, either 400 or 4,000. It was 400. Solution, I know you there. Is it 400 years of slavery that the contract was lifted from, or 4,000?
400.
400. Thank you. So that expired on the 20th of April, 420. Yes, that expired during that time. And so in that time, that time is that number 420, if you do the research on 420, you're going to find Hitler, you're going to find a lot of cannabis, you're going to find a lot of information about that. But see, all of those things are frequencies. And when things happen during certain times, it's part of agreements that the universe has with itself, so to speak. Because once this pattern of control has been happening, it's been going on and it's been going on, so it creates this frequency. After a while, the frequency is going to expire because the way that the planet shifts, that's just what it is. Now, what it expires to, what it turns into, that is all based upon the creators of this planet, which is, or let me say, the co-creators of this planet, which is us. So whatever it is that we're thinking, whatever it is we're imagining, whatever it is we're vibrating, that's what we continue to create. And that's why it's always different. That's why the times of, back in the day when rituals were done and, the way that the rituals were done, it's not like that. Those are ancient times where you got information of some people that are doing something at this certain time. And like the Babylonians, the people that are out there, and these people that are doing these I'm gonna, for lack of a better reference, the Illuminati, the people that are in that industry, they're continuing to do like these dated rituals of sacrifices and killing people because they want to keep it in control. Their whole thing is about that, so it has to be in this dark place of manifestation, and they control everything. So they make everything that's in a good vibration, they twist it so that it still has its low vibration, and you're constantly in that fight of good versus evil. And so they thrive on that. And there's a lot of confusion in that, and they do that on purpose. But see, that time is all of that is crumbling and all of that is falling, and it's time for a new space, for a new awareness that your rituals are within you, and there's something very sacred and personal that belong to you. You don't have to share them with everybody. You can share them with your groups and the people that you confide in. But see, the power is in the individual that radiates this energy that they create within themselves and what they believe and what they have in themselves. And it's very easy to get into this group mentality and this follow mentality. And see, where we're going in this new space is really about where are you, how are you vibrating, you're attracting everything that you are, so you are in control of where it is that you want to exist, and that becomes the norm, the knowing of how we exist. And so people become very accountable because you know that wherever you are, that's what it is. You earn wherever it is that you are in some way, shape, or form. You did that. So once you're able to take accountability for that and have the tools to be able to, align yourself and be able to mindfully manifest and be able to, do what you came here to do in a really balanced way, then your whole world changes. It becomes completely different. So this new world that we're going into is unlike anything that we've ever seen before, because it's like nothing in the past could ever describe it. And nothing will ever be like it again, just like nothing will ever be like it was. But see, this group thinking, even within religions and groups and organizations and all of these different things that exist within them, there are still levels of control, and where you have like this one person and everybody follows this one person. I mean, is that way of thinking is just really antiquated, and it is designed for control. What better thing than to have a group of beings that are just all on this high vibrating energy? What could you not do with that? You know what I mean? And so people that are not able to experience that human emotion, that it's very difficult. It's very easy for them to just stay in that space of control, and so they've controlled the humanity for quite some time. And so that time is over. And I think that everybody has experienced that in some way, shape, or form. I know that I went on a big old long old tangent because this is supposed to be a Q&A today so that you guys can ask questions. But let me just go over my little list real quick to make sure Okay. Just going back real quick in regards to how the government is testing EMF radiate. Well, they're not really even testing it. What they're doing is they have this thing called SAR, which is specific absorption rate of this technology going into, what's happening when this technology is out, right? But what they are not testing is the heating effect and what happens as our bodies download this technology. So I just had to make sure. And if there's anybody out there that wants to start thinking, oh, but there's a SAR and SAR protects the people, and so there's limits and the law has this and this and that. If you haven't figured out that these rules that they have put out there for people to exist in is a whole bunch of bullshit, then I don't know who I'm talking to, because I really know that it's nobody here right now. But anyway, okay. Oh, 5G will also mess with your reproduction system. Your reproduction system is bombarded with this technology. For the women, it's also your wombs. And so I think that a lot of women, especially in between the ages of 30 and up, you are experiencing changes and shifts and things with your wombs and fibroids and all of these different things. See, what you're consuming, not just by what you eat, but by this nanotechnology that has been putting, I don't know, how long have you guys been seeing chemtrails? A long time, right? So yeah, that has been falling into our bodies. And so this is affecting people in a lot of ways. But see, there's also a specific reason for it. Like they're wanting to fuck with our reproductive system. Of course they do, especially the melanated beings. So, and I'm not even going to get into all of that, because this is about the science of a race and not the emotional aspect of this is the science of what it is. So what they have been doing, that they recognize the power of melanin, and the melanated people were the first people. And of course they don't want them to take over again, because it's a takeover again kind of thing. And see, the thing about this time, the last time that, black people reigned or people of color reigned, the planet, the last time that happened, it's still, when the rebirth came and we turned into this, it still didn't have the spiritual aspect and the complete disclosure aspect that this planet is coming into now, specifically with this 2020. Check out the video. Check out the video about the universal disclosure, and I think that it's going to really open up your mind to a lot of different things, because it's all really in theory. And recognize that too. Recognize that any information that you are getting, that you are receiving, that is giving you information of something that could be or something that could happen, it really truly is all in theory. And what they're doing with that information also is being able, once you put it in the mind of people and people believe it, then it happens. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that is saying that anything that you receive that does not feel good to you, you better get rid of that shit. You better transform it, get rid of it, because your energy is creating it. So anything that you see, anything that you receive that feels good to your spirit, to your heart, to your mind, then that is what you want to consume. That is what you want to, think about and live about. So these things are, and that's how you make it real. This whole time of, oh, that's impossible, that can't be real, that can't, look, everything is possible and everything is real. And I think that we have been around here long enough to know that. So now it's time to control it. And so instead of seeing something and saying, oh, well, that's impossible. Like on this video, the person that made this video, they're talking about flat earth. Look, I don't have no time to think about whether the earth is flat, round, whatever it is. Look, I'm here. So I can't sit here and focus on what that is, why they want to fool us. I already know why they want to fool us. So I already don't believe anything that they told us anyway. So I believe what my eyes see and I can put it together, then that's what becomes truth for me. So when they start putting all of this other information out there, to start saying, oh no, that can't happen, and this, and start creating a fight against the information, that's just ridiculous. Because when you know that something is true, you feel it. You feel it, and you keep going with that. And see, what is true for you is not true for me necessarily. So we can't live thinking that everybody's going to believe what we believe. Our strength is in what we believe with our heart and mind, and that creates everything. And subconsciously, it's what everybody's been creating anyway. So to be able to be in this, golden age where you're able to, access your own mind and be able to fix it on your own, that's more powerful than you could ever really truly comprehend. Because most people don't recognize it, and they don't value life. And I'm not saying that they don't value life. Oh, motherfuckers should get what they get because whatever, they don't value life. I'm saying they don't value life because it was a program that was injected into people to not value themselves and not value life. And it was also programmed to not remember your infinite nature. That's also a program. So when you're able to detach from all of those things, then, everything becomes very clear. And all of this none of this should be foreign, because none of it is new. Everybody has codes in them to remember who they are so that they can get to it, whatever that is. So it's 30 past the hour. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor for any Q&A. I know I haven't gotten to the orgone tools yet. So actually, before I open up the floor, let me just do a little intro on the orgone energy, because I know we're getting a lot of new members here at the layer, and welcome to all the people that are coming. And a lot of you guys are coming from videos that you've seen us make about orgone energy batteries, and, just the orgone is what's attracting, the people to this. And what my intention is, what I would like, what I'm visualizing is that in your interest to what this is, to this work, that you go deeper, because this is the total solution for your healing. And this is something that you have to find within yourself. And what the orgone energy does, it helps wake it up. Orgone energy batteries are a proprietary blend that my husband and I came up with to create our own version of what Wilhelm Reich and what's the guy named Karl Hans and other people, because when I started learning about what this was, I looked at a lot of different things, and then I asked Most High to give me the information that I needed so that I can move with it, because I was so inspired to move with it. Like, I needed to make it. And I had no idea really of what it was, except for I knew that it was EMF protection. And what I received was nothing like what I created. This is my version of the energy and the information that I received. And this is, quite honestly, it is me channeling information from other dimensions, other lifetimes, other beings that come through these stones. If you know about stones and crystals, you know that these are beings that have been here way longer than us have been in the flesh anyway. And hey, maybe some of us have been crystals. So this information, this energy is very powerful, and it's not like I can't take credit for it. You know what I mean? It's like I was completely inspired to do it, and at that time, I didn't know why. And this was like, 8-9 years ago? So now today, I completely am 100% clear on exactly why that inspiration happened to me during that time. So I also don't want anyone to ever think that this is anything about recruiting anybody. I don't teach anybody how to make orgone energy batteries, point blank, period. Let's put it out there like that. This was information that was gifted to me. This is my formula that comes through what I bring. Now, I will say that I will always tell everyone, you must create them if you are inspired to. If you're not inspired to, don't do it. But if you are inspired to, do it. I mean, I think the cost of trying to, buy them all the time might inspire you to go ahead and try making them yourself, because they don't have to. There's a simple formula that works, and that is 50% metals, 50% crystals, and you use coils and different energy symbols that will help change space. And when you start getting really into it, you'll start learning the science of it. But see, this is something that really does have to come naturally. I didn't read any books about this. I watched a few videos in the beginning so that I could know what it was. Once I knew the science of what it was, and I studied Wilhelm Reich and Karl Hans and what they were doing, I knew exactly what to do. And it wasn't because I knew. It was because the information came through me so that I could know. And so this is how this information works. This is how it happens. But you must have it. You must have some form of it if you're wanting to heal. Okay? And so the most important thing I will say, and I know that I get really, passionate about when it comes to like my formula and what I do, and it's really because it is a ancestral thing. It is something that when I speak on it now, it's like they're here right now already. So it's like they're letting me know to make sure, and that everyone recognizes that the power of the stones come through. And the beings that these stones are come through very strong. And the ancients already knew this. So to be able to have this technology where they can come through and they can act, because this is like the next best thing for them manifesting as human beings in the flesh, because this manifestation in the flesh that we have, this is quite divine indeed. It really, truly is. And so for the ancestors and divine guides, they recognize the power of this state of being. So to manifest in a form, just like when they manifest in photos, they love it in photos and sculptures and things like that. They're able to bring their energy forth in that way. But to bring their energy forth through orgone, through that technology, that is on some next level stuff right there. And so when you start working with it, you will recognize that, and you will know that, because you will feel it, not because I told you, not because you read it somewhere. It's because you will feel it with everything that you are. And nobody will be able to argue that differently, because you'll know what you know. And you will not expect for anybody else to agree with you or to recognize or to comprehend, because it won't even matter, because you know what you know. And so this is the type of energy that, of course, the powers that be don't want on the planet. Because why would they want mastered individuals on this planet? What could they do with people like us? Absolutely nothing. But it's okay, because that dimension will exist just as other dimensions existed and have existed and will continue to exist. The year 2020 is going to bring a lot of revelation where people are going to be able to see in multiple dimensions. They're going to be able to see that with the naked eye. And so if it's for you to see, you will see it. And if it's not for you to see, then don't worry about it, because everybody is working on in their own world. You are part of this all, but you're here creating your own physical existence through how you vibrate. So it's really important that you remember that, and that you don't try to take in somebody else's experience and, be like, oh, well, why I want to experience what they're experiencing. I want to feel what they're feeling. This is one of the reasons why I had to pull away from selling orgone energy batteries just out publicly to anyone, because I had to recognize the effects that was happening with this work. There were people that were just wanting it because they wanted what I had. They wanted this energy, or they wanted to feel what I was feeling. And so that, although that's great and that's wonderful and that's a nice confirmation, it's just so much deeper than that, because you have to be able to find that within yourself and recognize it for what it is. So now the way that I work with people, anybody that gets orgone energy batteries from me, we're actually working together, and I create custom pieces specifically for you. And you will learn about what orgone energy is and what it does. And maybe you'll be inspired to do it yourself. I will say that most of my clients are making their own orgone energy devices, and they're creating LLCs, and they're creating businesses out of them, because they recognize the power in what this is. And it's not about going public and selling it to everybody, because this is not a business that could be sustained just by you working, making pieces, pieces, selling pieces, selling pieces. That's not what it's designed to do. This is a healing mechanism that is about so much more than just the financial aspect of what it carries, because when I say what it carries, it breaks barriers. So it clears blockages. It could bring anything that you want it to bring through clearing up the energy, but it's not it that is bringing it. It's your energy and your vibe and your subconscious frequency that is bringing whatever it is that's coming to you. Orgone tools will make it happen faster, and that's just what it is. That's just science. But it is important to know that the aspect of knowing who you are comes with knowing that you are an infinite creator, and you are an infinionaire. An infinionaire is a person that attracts wealth infinitely because they live in their passion. They do what they love. They do what their purpose is to do, and in that, all of the currency and all of the energy that they need will always 100% show up. And so being an infinionaire takes a lot of work and a lot of detachment from material things, because once you recognize the material things are a residual of what's on the inside, then the inside becomes the number one work, and the material things just change. You change the level of, because this is not about thinking that, oh, I'm on a spiritual level, so I don't need a vehicle and I don't need this or that, or I don't need clothes, or I don't. No, this is beyond all of that. But know that there are things in this earthly plane that you need, like getting around. You might need a plane to get, from here to there. You might need to have, a couple of cars. You know what I'm saying? It's like I recognize the heart and of humility, and that's very important. But I also know the damage that it has done to people, and feeling that to desire things that are going to be beneficial for your purpose is, wrong, or you can't, you should be humble enough to just have absolutely nothing. And it's not about that. That's just a misconstrued program that they have people thinking that, what is it in the Bible? I talk about this one all the time, the camel getting in through the eye of a needle before a rich man gets to heaven. It's not about that. It's like once you recognize that you are the money, that you are the currency, then it's never an issue. It never becomes an issue at all. And you don't have these fights with yourself about having too much or not doing enough. Because when you are at the point of recognizing that you are an infinite being, then you are not operating from a place of fear of lack. You're not operating from that place of having to compete with somebody because you're fearful of what they're going to take from you or what they're going to get. You have it all the time. So you're operating on a whole different frequency. And that could be the most fantastic and blissful state of ever existing. And you create a lot of great things for you in that way. You can go travel the world. You could, that's not a selfish act, or, what's really jacked up is the images that are portrayed of what, wealth supposedly is. Money and mansions and, more rooms in your house than you're ever even going to visit and stuff to show that you're rich and all of that. That's just ridiculous. And I think that everybody here already knows that too. But see, it's important to know that it is a balance. Like of course I want to live in a nice home and have a nice car to drive. And I want to be comfortable. I deserve it. I earned it. Absolutely. And what that is whatever that is for me. You know what I mean? But there's a line that, you break when you start getting to the point of just greed and wanting things just because you need to show that you have it. That's a whole different system right there. And that's not what we're about. But it's very important to know that you could have whatever it is that you desire to have. It's all on you. It's all on you. And in the mainstream world, they have shown you The Secret. They have shown you what is all the people that are like really famous for being for inspiring you and motivating you and stuff, like the gurus and stuff like that. They have shown you that, but guess what? They keep putting these people on pedestals and keep showing you that, because underlining that is showing you that there's still a guru. There is still a leader, and you got to follow them, and you got to support them, and you got to because they helped you. You know what? Everybody gets what they're supposed to get all the time. I'm not saying don't help nobody, but what I'm saying is you got to help yourself first. You are the guru of your life always. You are the master always. Everything else is like a consult, is information so that you could make the decisions between you, yourself, and Most High. That's it. So now, with that said, any questions about orgone energy devices? Open the lines, unmute your phone. Any questions about 5G? I can't really answer a whole bunch about 5G because it's all in the video. But okay, lines are open. I know somebody. Here we go.
Hey,
Hola.
Hola, hola, it's Carla. How are you?
I am fantastic, Carla, and thank you so much for your donation. It is greatly appreciated, and it is what makes this call open for everybody. So thank you. What happened? Did I lose you? Did I lose her? Did I lose everybody? Did I do something? Did I press a button?
I don't think you lost everybody.
I don't think you lost everybody.
Okay. Carlita. Okay, she probably got dropped, and we'll wait for her to come. Well, I'm sure she'll come back. Anyone else? Oh, here she comes. Here she is. Carla. Carla, is that you? All right, we'll bring her in on the next round. Anyone else? Questions, comments?
Lottie, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Lottie.
Yes.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, were you able to hear what I was saying before?
Not before. I can only hear you now.
Oh, okay. I was talking and everything. So first I wanted to say, if you can hear me now, thank you so much, Madi, for all this information. I know it's huge and it's a lot to drop and to have to embody that in your own life. But I was wondering, with my pyramid, does it lose its efficacy when it gets banged up? Because I know it's been taking a lot of energy and it's cracked in certain spaces and things like that. So I kind of know the answer, but I still want to kind of know, because of the type of technology that we're coming against or will be experiencing, does that have any effect on the orgone battery if it's cracked?
Well, it definitely affects it in a way that, it's definitely showing you what it's doing. Even if it's a coincidental, it fell or something like that, the orgone is transforming a lot of energy. And one of the orgone energy batteries that we sent to this doctor, I won't say his name anymore, but he took it to where there was a lot of, like, one of those Area 51 type places, and the orgone cracked completely up, and that was just an example of the energy that it was absorbing and transforming, and just the power of what it is and the power of this unseen, you know what I mean? Because of the nature of what it is, like, it's still stones, it's still metals, they're all still connected, even if it's cracked. When it's cracked, actually, it's just releasing more spaces for it to release energy. So it'll like mess a little with the with the flow of it, of how it now it's kind of coming out of the crack or whatever. But that's not anything that's not anything negative or anything that's damaging it at all in any way.
Okay, great. Thank you. And thank you so much for what you do. I cannot wait to see the fruition of this amazing technology in your sensors. I cannot wait.
You are very welcome, and it's going to happen, and you're going to get your invite.
Oh, of course. Thanks, Madi.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Comments, questions? Anyone else? Why y'all being so shy?
Marty, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you talking about.
Anyway, I wanted to say about the and thank you very much for your information. Always. You know I adore you. I wanted to say about the 5G, and I had an experience, and I think I might have told you about it, but these shifts really happened, and we were flying to Las Vegas, and it was like when we were flying, I felt like, you know how you see movies where they go into the bliss and that little watery screen and stuff, and I felt like that's what happened. It was like my equilibrium was off, and I'm like, oh my God, what was that? And then the two people that were sitting next to me, they said, oh, we felt it too. And then they didn't have any kind of, because of the turbulence, they couldn't serve any kind of refreshments, but there was no turbulence. So I know what you're talking about is real, and I feel like that was indicative of what's going to happen down the road. So again, like you said, as long as we're equipped with the tools that we need, and that's Orgone Energy, your meditation, your food, everything is all ammunition to fight against this and to make this transition as smooth as possible. So I just wanted to share that this really does happen. And if you find yourself kind of being a little off balance or things just don't seem to fit right, it's part of this transition. And again, not to fear it, embrace it, know that, okay, this too is going to pass and we're going to be okay because we're experiencing it. We are experiencing it, so that means that we're equipped to handle it.
Yeah, if it's happening, that means you're ready. And Smokey, I got a message about that as you were saying it. So you and was it another woman that felt it?
Yeah, it was Sherry.
Oh, okay. So what happened is that you guys were able to be in that frequency to experience it. You understand what I'm saying? Like you went in and you into like a whole nother dimension to where everything that was there before was not like it anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because like when I came to when I was coming back north, it was like the change in the way the weather was changing was, you know, pretty symbolic. And we know that happens when you travel, you'll experience, you know, different weather changes. But when that happens in the way that it happened and what I was feeling, the energy that I was feeling as I was coming in, it was really indicative to, you know, this energy and how much it's shifting and how if you pay attention, you feel it. If you don't pay attention, and see a lot of people aren't paying attention because they're thinking about other stuff. You know, they're distracted. Right. Oh, it's really a trip to know. So thank you so much for the confirmation.
You're welcome.
Does anyone else have any other comments or questions? Anything about Orgone devices? I do want to let you know, and Smokey had told me about this experience that she had. You guys have seen me with the copper crowns. The copper crowns, I get them from Michael Melchizedek Moore in the UK, and these copper crowns are no joke, okay? Like, you put that copper crown on, you are going to feel it. And it's like Smokey, I feel like I'm way more sensitive to it now than I was when I first got it, you know? And I know that that's because of all of this energy change and all of this shift that's happening.
Yes. I know I'm going to tell everybody when she was here, she told me, Smokey, you need to wear this crown more. And I was like, okay. So I put it on and it was like instantly, I mean, there was, you know how your phone, when you charge your phone and you feel the charger, you know, the part plugged in and it's so hot and you think, man, is it going to blow up or what? But that's how that crown was. It was like right where the center, in your center of my forehead where the shungite was, it was like, oh my God, and my head's going to blow up. But it wasn't an uncomfortable feeling. But like you were telling me, it's also you have to acclimate yourself to it, because I tried to put it on the next day and it was a bit much. So it's like, okay, little bits at a time. So, but that I mean, it's really, really real talk, real stuff, real energy that you feel.
Smokey, I told you what happened with the red blanket when I put it on my head, right?
Yes.
Okay, you guys, I'm going to tell you about this red blanket. Okay, so I got this red blanket that was sent to me by this. It's like a movie. Y'all already know. But like this special person, this special agent that worked like in the government forces or whatever, found out about our organ and it was working with me and my husband. And so he wanted us to make him. He's the one who we sent the organ, and the organ like exploded when he took it to the place that he took it to. And so the other day, I'm talking on the phone like these cell phones, and then once you do, you're knowing about the technology too. You become more aware of it, right? So it's like the phone gets even hotter. So I'm on the phone, and I'm like, let me protect myself. I got my crown on. Of course, I got my Orgone Energy batteries on. I got my bracelets on, and I'm like, let me put this because the cloth, what it is Orgone technology in a cloth. That's never going to come out. You're never going to see it, but that's how it works. And so you look at it as a cloth, and it's like, it's just a cloth. You know what I'm saying? So I put that over my head, and I'm sitting there, and I'm talking on the phone, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Am I alive? Am I here? Am I going somewhere? What the hell's going on? Is my heart beating? You know, and it was like, and I had to, I just took it off, and I'm also inside a room with thousands of orgone devices in it. So it really was like I was out of space. But it really, it was very weird for me because I'm so used to energy and working with all of this energy, like that it is odd for me to get something like that. And so that's just another confirmation that we went through a whole nother situation, and like my sensitivity level is like on super high. And it's, you know, so these things that we can't see are very, very powerful, you know.
Yes.
And the tools, they look cute, and that's another reason why I pulled away, because people think, oh, it's just cute and stuff. No, it's more than just cute, and you must know that. And I will say, Michael Melchizedek, you ain't gonna be able to go to him and say, oh, can I get one? That's not how he works. He's a shaman. He works with who he works with. If you get one, you get one. If you don't, you don't. Hey, you just never know. However, I mean, I would definitely say reach out. If you're really called, you know, to his work, definitely reach out to him, because I've never experienced a copper combination, and it's copper and shungite. And I've never experienced a combination this strong before. And if you're really sensitive, and you're not able to transform energy, it might be too much for you, because you're also picking up his energy as well. That's what happens with metal when it's raw. So you're picking up the energy of the individual that created it. You see the little swirls in the time that he spends doing that. You're picking up on a lot of his energy. So you have to be prepared for those things. And this is about really recognizing the power of the unseen. But I will say, if you want to, we don't want to make anything impossible. One of the things that I wanted to do today was make sure that you guys had something that it doesn't cost anybody money to heal. Like, but I mean, it does. You know what I mean? It's like there's nothing that's free. Everything is in exchange. But I don't want you to think that the lack of having like a large amount of funds accessible to you is going to stop you from getting what you need to get. So one of the quickest things that you could do, like if you want to work with stones and you can't really afford stones, you can go in the street wherever they throw stones. It depends on the area that you live in, or if you live in an area that's close to the mountains, those stones are very powerful as well. I would recommend any white calcite that you see, just pick that up, because it has a lot of crystal power in it, and that's something that you can just put it in your pocket, and it's definitely beneficial to keep some of this energy off of you. Another thing that if you got a little bit of money to spend, get you some stones at your mineral store. And one of the stones is going to be highly beneficial for so many reasons, and you guys have been seeing this on my timeline, is selenite. Selenite is the goddess moon stone. It is a very powerful stone. It is a stone that connects you with the angelic realm, that clears all of the chakras, and it is a stone that by itself, it is clearing EMF toxic pollution. And so you're able to do sweeps with it. There's a lot of different things that you can do with it, and but just having some is enough. As long as you have it, that is enough. Another stone that's really beneficial and powerful is magnetite. If you can get your hands on some magnetite, hold on to that. That's going to be helpful in your meditation, with your grounding. A lot of people are experiencing really high visual, high impact dreaming. And so this dreaming is another state of being. So you want to make sure that you're protected in your dream state, and magnetite is a stone that'll always bring you back. There have been people that complained about feeling the fear of not being able to come back when they astral travel and things like that. If you don't come back when you astral travel, that means that your loved ones is going to find a corpse. You know what I mean? So that's how serious this stuff is. And then, they're not going to, nobody ever says, this person died because they astral traveled to Mars and they never came back. That's not what's said. Oh, their heart stopped, or they died in their sleep, or whatever. But these things are real and they do happen. And just the more you know, the better you're able to operate. And you don't have to believe everything. Figure it out for yourself. Ask what is true, and then you will be shown the truth. So our time is up for today, ladies and gentlemen. I am not going. Yeah, yes. What?
It's Mubina.
Hola, Mubina.
Hola, beautiful. How are you?
I am doing fantastic. How are you?
Listen, the question I wanted to ask, really you just answered it. So I wanted to say how it's always amazing how energy we're just able to connect within the frequency. Because the question I was going to ask was, what's the best stone to use when you're meditating? And you said the two stones, selenite and is it magnetite?
Magnetite, yeah.
Yeah, you said magnetite.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask how is the best way to use them within your meditation? Do you just hold them in your hand? Is it better to put them kind of on your, like maybe on your third eye, or like what would you recommend?
Well, when I meditate, I have stones in my hand, or maybe I'll have like a pyramid, or I put the selenite like right in between my breast and inside my bra strap, so that I could feel, selenite wands are long, so you're able to elongate that energy, and I like to feel it on my skin. And so that's how I use the selenite. With the grounding stones, just having them in the palm of your hand, or even if, like, let's say you're sitting like in the lotus position and you put them down in between your legs, like right where your sacral chakra is, like where your root chakra is, put it there and just sit there. And that's definitely going to be really beneficial.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you. And I have just one more quick question, because I know you have to go. But I have a knee injury, and it's preventing me from, I'm still able to do things, but not the way that I want to do them. And so it's just lingering, and I just wanted to know, how can I use the orgonite to help heal that? And if so, I'm sure I can, but I just kind of want to know how to use it, like, so that it kind of works within, just to heal whatever is wrong. I think it's a ligament that I've kind of damaged somehow, and yeah.
Okay. So in order to heal, if it's a ligament, and I don't know exactly how, like, is this like permanent damage that you just like at this point have to live with?
It's not permanent damage, but I think it's one of those things where it's just going to take a while to, and I'm not into taking any antibiotics or painkillers or anything like that. So I've just been taking like a herb tea that's supposed to help with inflammation, and turmeric, which also helps with inflammation, and curcumin. So that's what I've been taking, but it's just not, I don't know, it's not happening quick enough for me. So maybe I'm being impatient, I don't know, but I just want to try everything, every kind of natural thing that I can think of. I'm open to trying.
Okay, so you want to try, and I have not tried this yet, but I am. And so this was actually put in my mind to try about a week ago. CBD oils, there's like, well, you can use CBDs in a lot of different ways, but either a oil or a butter, someone that works with CBD oils. I know you're over there in the UK, so I don't know,
we do have
how that, you do have it? Okay. So you definitely want to do that. And so you take the oil and you put it on the organ. And when you do just, massage the area. And so what you want to do also when you're doing it, you have to heal yourself in your mind. So you have to ask your body to do what you're wanting it to do. And so an easy thing that you could do, thank you for my healing. Thank you for my healing. Thank you for healing my ligaments. Thank you for, my cells regrowing in this area. Thank you for, and it's putting actual time into doing that, not just when it's hurting. Put that in. Or when it comes to healing our bodies, a huge aspect is our mind. Once you're doing the physical aspect and you're eating properly, you're doing the things that you have to do, your mind is a huge part and what you're telling your body. It's just like when people are hypochondriacs, and I definitely can relate to people that are hypochondriacs. When you start knowing information about something that is ailing or something that it could be, you start going into the rabbit hole of health hell, and you can take yourself there physically. And I knew this from a young age because when I used to pretend that I had a headache so I didn't go to school, then I used to end up having a headache every single time. It never failed. And so, I recognize the power of what we can do to our bodies in healing and in damaging it. So you can definitely use the organ to heal it. Use those cannabis oils for it as well. Definitely let me know how it works out. I have pain issues too. I'm going to be using the cannabis oils in the same way, so I will let you know how it works for me too.
Marty.
Thank you so. Thank you, Goddess.
Yes.
Thank you.
Smokey,
I wanted to. I wanted to tell her about, and she's probably doing this. I cannot say it. It's curcumin or something like that. I don't even know how to.
Is that Kirlion therapy? I think I know. I think I know what you're thinking, Miss Smokey. I just can't pronounce the word.
I know. Curcumin or something like that, but it has turmeric in it, but it's really, really, really good. I've been taking that for a long time because I have this burning sensation. Yes,
that's what I'm taking. It's a mixture of curcumin,
turmeric,
something else. But I've been taking it for maybe about 2 weeks. So
okay, you're gonna see some results. So keep taking it. Don't stop.
Okay, good. Oh, thank you. Thank you for confirming that. Fantastic. Great. Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Isn't life just so magical?
Say that again?
Also, copper.
Just so magical. Oh, yes.
Copper too. Yes.
I know most of our orgonite pieces, orgon energy batteries have copper in them, but copper, that makes the blood flow, which is definitely solution to inflammation and things of that nature, and getting clean blood to the place that's injured. For copper.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm open to and everything that's natural that I can try and have access to. I'm willing, because I'm just fed up of it right about now. Because I can't exercise the way I want to exercise. I can't run if I'm running for a bus, I can't. So it's starting to really annoy me. Yeah, and I'm starting to realize, when you have full use of your body, you just take it for granted. And then when you don't, it's just really frustrating. And so the things that I would complain, if I went to training and I'm like, this is too hard, I go to training now and I do a limited amount, but I'm really upset because I can't kick. I can't do these things that I probably used to be complaining about because it was too hard. So it's really starting to get to me in that way because I can't use my body the way I want to use my body. So maybe there's a message in there somewhere for me that I have to learn. So
yes, I think there is, and I think that message has to do with just kind of what is it morphing. You know what I mean? Like one of the things that I do, because I suffer through like different kinds of pains and aches and hip pain and back pain. And so swimming is definitely a huge help for me and making me feel like I can still do something, because working out with my husband and my daughter, it's like I start to feel like, I want to do what they're doing, but then I also have to recognize I'm not, but it's a whole, it's like an esteem thing, or a thing that feels like I want to still be functioning. So, swimming was what did it for me, because when I'm swimming, I feel like I can move really fast, and it's great for my mind. But I understand exactly how you feel.
Yeah. I'm going to try those things that you suggested, everyone. So thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
You're very welcome. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go one more round, because there's always one person that is like, oh, I wanted to say something, and I was thinking about it, but I didn't. So where you at?
I have a bit of information for the lady with the knee issue.
Hola, River.
Hey, Marty, I know it's been a hot minute.
I know, hey, but it's what it's supposed to be. And it's so funny, because it's like I'm sitting here with a big old smile on my face, because it's like you guys are all here. And it was like what Mubina was saying. It's like we all come when we're supposed to come. And I knew that today was supposed to happen. So
yeah, man.
This is great. Go ahead,
I needed
River.
to be isolated for quite some time. I needed to hear those inner voices, those inner thoughts, the guidance, without the disruption of the city. I moved out into the mountains, and I don't have as much radio wave, cross frequency and stuff. So I'm finally coming out of my shell. I just started a business, my first business 3 weeks ago. So
congratulations.
Thank you. I am a nutrition consultant, lady with the knee. And,
okay.
And one of the most important things to understand is the hydrogen level in your body, or the potential hydrogen, or pH level, people know it as. You, on a scale from 0 to 14 is the pH scale, and right in the middle of 14 is 7. 14 is 7, and that's neutral pH. Anything below 7 is acidic, and anything above 7 is alkaline. And a lot of us here may have already heard that things like cancer cells can't survive in alkaline environments, and yes, that is true. And the reason that that's true is because the mucous membrane around the cells, the cell walls, is not compromised. The mucous membrane is destroyed when we have acidic diets. So if we drink acidic water, if we're not careful with our tap water, if we drink a lot of coffee or orange juice or tomato sauce and pizza and just acid, and if we're looking at the ingredients of our food, you'll see there's a lot of interesting acids as preservatives. So our bodies are bombarded with it. So a lot of the time when it comes to reducing inflammation in the knee, it's going to be a battle with your diet and seeing what things you need to remove and possibly replace with alkaline foods like avocados, cucumbers. All these things are alkaline. Whereas obviously
I had that for my evening meal. Avocado, cucumber.
Yeah, that's it. Simple meal already. I love it. And sometimes I'll drop cucumber in my water. So if you're a high hydrogen level or high pH level in your body, then your body's naturally going to drop inflammation. This is from a more medical perspective and stuff. I know a lot of people speak from an intuitive perspective, and that's what I like here, because I have a hard time putting words to the feelings that I have. I guess, and that comes with being male, because we're very logical thinkers, whereas women are very intuitive feelers, and that's our disconnect there. But I love hearing all the women talk about the feelings that they get and how they can find a way to word that. But I hope that helps you for sure.
Yes, it does. My diet is generally really good. Like, I'm really food conscious. However, I don't take that for granted. So sometimes I may, even though I eat mainly vegetables and pulses and grains and stuff like that, in terms of the alkaline level, that's something I could probably look at more, because I try to be as alkaline as possible, but I'm sure I don't always succeed. So that's something that I can focus on by making sure that the alkaline level is at the higher end of the scale. So I do appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And Marty, I would have a question for you, once again, kind of stemming from the differences in male energy and female energy, how we're very logical thinkers, and sometimes we use science to understand our intuitive feelings, and vice versa for women. My question would be, when it comes to manifesting and truly creating your world, I'm having trouble with developing a literal vision in my head. And I know that that's part of, Bluetooth and 5G or 4G radio waves and all that, but I'm having some difficulty. And I've decalcified my pineal, and I've been vegan for 7 years now, and I'm really clean in my body. And I'm having trouble with developing an actual vision. And then I've also researched that when we are trying to manifest, we should be incorporating all of our senses, like hearing what people are saying to us when, we have achieved what it is we're trying to develop a vision for, or feeling, the doorknob of that dream house or something. We're supposed to incorporate all the senses in with our manifestation, but I'm having issues with that. And do you have any tips on how to develop a vision?
Absolutely. One of the things that I was talking about is how, the information that's out there's a lot of information. They give you tidbits and there's certain things. So what you're speaking of is when you're at that point where you're past where you are, in the sense of okay, let me go back. Okay, so when you're manifesting, it stems from your mind and your heart, your brain and your heart. And so you must release the idea of any vision and be in the moment of that space of what you're feeling first. Just the gratitude and the greatness of this space that you're feeling. So in this space, and you have to practice this for a while so that you could just, in this practice, that's when you start getting more visions, and you start having, you don't have to design the vision. The vision is designed for you, and it's implanted in your brain, and it inspires you, and you go with it. So it's kind of like you don't have to create the vision for yourself. You know what I mean? Your focus is to be in that space where you're feeling good, where you're feeling in balance. And so once you're in that space, then you're going to find that it's going to be a lot easier, because these visions are going to come quite naturally, and you're going to know which ones to grasp onto, because they're going to start to flood you. And there's going to be so many. Right. So and so to get to the next level of what it is that you're using all of the different tools, so you have to be sitting in a space where now when you're manifesting or you're intending, it's like you're playing pretend, and it's like you're pretending to be in this place, but you're not really pretending, you're actually there. And so you're doing things, you're creating the situation where you're hearing the sounds and you're feeling it, but it's not in necessarily the way that you would perceive it, like you're going to get in this car and you're going to put on the radio and hear this music. It's not like that. It may happen in a sense where you just start dancing. And you start hearing this sound.
Yeah, there you go with the feeling again. That's exactly my point, is that, I guess men try to understand through logic. And I guess when you've tried to understand a subject through logic as best your ability, you come to the end of the logical capability, like the end of what logic can explain, and then you have to step into this space of feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you have to just, understand through feeling instead of understanding through logic.
And for you, what is going to help a lot, too, is drum. The drum sound is a very powerful sound. And when you're able to, it's the first sound of awakening. Like somebody that needs to, I wanted to give you an example. Give me just a second. Like if you want to get somebody's attention, the pounding sound of a drum. And I'm going to use this because this is one of these. This is This is one of those hand drums. This is a hand drum. And as soon as you start it, it's like the sound is overwhelming because it's like it kind of stops you and it makes you just sit and listen, you know. And so it is about releasing any expectation of how it's supposed to feel, or it's really about being able to be in touch with whatever is happening in that moment and what that energy feels like. And so
the rhythm.
The rhythm of it. And so a drum, because like the drum is that first thing, that's that first sound. So if you just do some drumming sessions, and see, I'm very much into, it doesn't have to be like you've seen it practiced before or like you've seen other people do. It is about, I'm gonna give you an example because for my culture, we definitely drum. Like I don't know too many people of color that don't know how to put it together just with a drum and a table. You know what I mean? And that is something that just happens, that's just within you, that when you call on it, it will come. And so when you are doing these drumming sounds and when you are doing this thing, wherever you do it, however you do it, what you want to do is in it, you want to start asking for this feeling. You want to start asking for things to be clearer for you. You want to start connecting with your divine feminine because you have it in you. You know what I mean? But there's still blockages in those areas, River, that it's like, and I'm definitely going to be doing more sessions about this because when we're healing our sexual energy in our sexual areas, that really is a long-term type of healing. It's a constant healing. There's different things that we get, and then we have to kind of start the reparations over again. And so, and that's why patience and detachment and all that is so important. But yes, the sexual aspect, you know, for certain people, it has to be really super revitalized because the blockages are so deep that they don't even know that the blockages are there. So it's kind of like a constant reminder and asking those deities that work in that area, and I don't want to. Okay, I'm good. I'm feeling Shakti. Okay, I got you, Shakti. All right. So if you start calling it. I'm saying that because that's how I feel, but it's important for you to find the. And so when you are in this drumming space, even when you are in it, if you are having sexual relation, this is also another time that you want to call upon that energy to help you and to guide you on how to release and how to connect more. Although I really wouldn't recommend any sexual activity.
I think I lost you.
Yeah, I was just saying that I really wouldn't recommend any sexual activity in this state until you're sure, or at least you know that the person that you are, with is in.
I'm totally in tune with that. I'm totally in tune. I don't mean to interrupt you there, but I actually just kind of meditated and just asked the universe, like, what's one thing I'm doing that I need to kind of give up, or maybe something that's not serving my highest good. And the answer was porn and masturbation. Though I don't do that often, it's still releasing like your creative energy, and is what I'm realizing. So I've just recently given that up, and since then I've felt more energetic and able to get into those spaces. Thank you.
I am so happy. And you know what? This is because porn and masturbation is huge. I'm going to be doing a session that's specifically about that. Because what happens is, porn is it's another portal and it's another dimension. So if you're going in there and you were not prepared for it, then it's going to bring back damage, and it's going to, you're not.
That's a low place, man.
Yeah. So it has things that stick to you. But here's the other thing, too. It is also, and people that are suffering with addiction of porn and different things like that, it's important to also be patient with yourself and know how to work with that energy than to try to just shut it down and force yourself to shut it down completely. You have to be patient with yourself so that you can have longer lasting results. I get a lot of people that they go on these binges of, okay, I'm not going to watch it. And they're, torturing themselves and trying to, be good and trying to be good and trying to be good. And then they break. Then if they would have been clear in the understanding that this kind of healing requires a lot of time, and it is a process. And if you do, and not saying that it's not okay to do that, like if you can completely shut it down and you're able to do that, that's great. But if you're not able to do that and you go back to it, it's more important for you to know what it is that you're going into and know how to handle that space. And that knowledge and that practice is going to help you, is going to release, make the urges less. You're going to find yourself not wanting to go there anymore, because you're going to recognize, as you are aware of the program, the way that you start looking at it becomes different too. You know, you look at it completely different. So for me, I look at porn as when I see it, I see what it is. I look at it for the dimension that it is and how it exists. And I see a lot of things, and there's so much damage that has been created with it. And now it's important to talk about it because it's absolutely everywhere. You can get, you know, I remember you used to have to go to the store and get it. You know what I mean? Now it's right in the palm of your hand, and people are getting addicted to it a lot earlier. And it causes havoc to the system. It's the sacral creative system, and they're doing that on purpose. It was purposely done to sexually abuse the planet. And so this is the results of it now is us. All of us.
Yeah.
We've all been sexually abused. You guys know how I feel about that. But we're going to definitely keep bringing more healing to that, River, because that's huge for me. That's the primary reason why I came, is to heal the sexual aspect, that sexual energy, that divine energy of the planet, because we came in through it. It's highly abused, and most of us that have suffered through it are here to heal it, and to help others heal from it. So, you know, welcome aboard, everyone. We're getting this done. So thank you so much for calling in, River. I appreciate it. Solution, thank you so much for chiming in, and Smokadosha, thank you so much. You guys, if you are interested in any kind of work with me, send a note. I keep getting, okay, I will never work the way that people are used to working, and it keeps changing with me. It really does. It's not something that I'm doing on purpose, but I am going to be having some pieces that are going to be available only here on the website. And they are pieces that are created. I know that they are for specific people, and they're going to be put available on the website. I still don't know if I'm going to do it kind of like a bidding thing, or if I'm just going to put it out there. I think what I'm going to do is put it out there. Whoever gets it, that's who it was meant for. If you want to, and those are going to be available without having to have a consultation or anything with me. And it's only available for people on the website, because at least for people on the website, I'm thinking that you guys have some kind of comprehension of what this energy is, and I'm trusting that. Outside of that, working personally with people, that's on a whole nother level. If you're interested in getting a consultation with me for that, you can request one. I'll do a 15-minute consultation on what we could do together, the work that we could do together. And it's really kind of an interview for both of us. I don't work with everyone. I've gotten a lot stingier with myself than I have been. So, but I welcome anyone who feels that they have a connection and want to do this work with me. I welcome that. So, and also, if you are looking for just guidance and information on where you want to go in your future, you're having other things that need to be answered, you need some guidance, you want to talk to your angels, then you definitely want to hit up AskSmokey.com. She's definitely my go-to, one of my go-tos, because Solution is here as well, but Solution ain't going to give you no reading. No,
yes,
hey, I think he's still a little bit shy about his powers. He likes to do it through boxing and training and his work with individuals. But yes, and definitely nutrition questions. River is on the site here as well, so you can check him out. Congratulations to your business there, River, and to Mubina. Continue to let us know what's going on. Oh, and continue to let us know what's going on with all the information that you got today. I didn't want to forget, Carlita, Carla. Carla is she's a skin master. So if you got skin issues, that's a person you definitely want to connect with. So if everybody's good, nobody has any like itching things that they want to say, we already went past a whole way past. So I'll go ahead and make an exception. One more round, and then we're out of here. All right. Okay. That's it. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. And
thank you.
Enjoy. You're very, very welcome. And let me put my... That wasn't it. Yeah, I be trying to close out my sessions all cool and, look, see, I'm talking and music pop up, no reason. I'm trying to be cool. That's why I can't be cool, y'all. That's why I can't do things like all smooth and stuff like that no more. It's just what it is. Here it is, y'all. Mental physics. Next session is going to be, I don't know when. I'll let y'all know. Adios. Hasta la próxima.
Later.